At a Senate Homeland Security Committee hearing on Thursday, Senator Rick Scott accused the Department of Justice of becoming politicized against pro-life people and groups. The Florida Republican said that there has been a rise in, quote, high-profile FBI investigations of pro-life Americans. FBI Director Director Wray responded saying, quote, I don't care what side of the issue you're on, you don't get to engage in violence. Scott responded by saying that attacks on anti-abortion groups are not in the press. Director Wray expressed frustration on, quote, some of the news reporting about our work.
So, Director Wray, so what I'm asking you to tell me if it's accurate or not. So I'm not suggesting that all this is accurate. But it appears that DOJ have become politicized with regard to pro-life things. So there's a recent rise in high-profile FBI investigations of pro-life Americans, which raises the current concern that the FBI is weaponizing federal law enforcement and has become a tool, a partisan tool, which I don't think, when we've talked, that's been your goal. So there appears to be investigations and arrests of the pro-life community, and it's just the opposite of what's happened. We've had numerous fire bombings, violent attacks, acts of vandalism against churches, pro-life organizations, and crisis pregnancy centers in the days following the leaks of the Dobbs opinion. So is this right? Is that happening, not happening?
Well, first let me say I firmly believe that the FBI is going about its work and doing the right thing in the right way. Now, I'm glad you raised this topic because it gives me an opportunity to speak to it. We have our view, my view, plainly expressed to all of our people, including in the context of abortion-related violence, is that I don't care what side of the issue you're on, you don't get to engage in violence. And we are equal opportunity when it comes to that. Now, we have quite a number of investigations as we speak into attacks or threats against pregnancy resource centers, faith-based organizations, and other pro-life organizations. And you might be interested to know that since the Dobbs Act decision, probably in the neighborhood of 70% of our abortion-related violence cases or threats cases are cases of violence or threats against pro-life, so where the victims are pro-life organizations. And we're going after that through our joint terrorism task forces, through our criminal authorities, FACE Act, and things like that. We have about 20 field offices involved in this, and so we take it very seriously. And again, I don't care whether you're motivated by pro-life views or pro-choice views, you don't get to use violence to express it.
So we've talked about this before. It just seems to me that in DOJ, FBI in particular, they might be doing the right thing, but you guys allow information to go out that not talk about what you're doing. Because if you read the press, you would think that you guys are only going after pro-life groups and not going after groups that attack pro-life. So I've never understood this about the FBI and DOJ, in that you guys are more proactive about what you're actually doing. Because I'm pro-law enforcement, as you know, and so, but I can't defend you with no information.
Senator, I think we don't have the time for me to tell you how frustrated I sometimes get by some of the news reporting about our work and the misreporting about our work. The circumspection that we display with regard to discussing our investigations is based on rules and practices that are important to people having confidence in the integrity of our work and go back decades in multiple administrations. And sometimes it can be very frustrating to agents on the ground when they see things being misreported about their work. But we have all been taught that we have to bite our lips and let the facts come out in the right way through court proceedings. And sometimes that can be very frustrating to us, and it sounds like to you too.